Hey there, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing a Tip Tuesday on the California Residential Purchase Agreement. You may be wondering why we decided to cover this topic, and the reason why is because as of December of 2021, the contract that we know as the purchase contract or the offer has had some updates to it, and so we wanted to just briefly touch on them. We're not going to go too into detail because there were quite a few changes, but we did want to let you know that there have been some updates to the contract and we wanted to share a couple of them with you. So if you've ever purchased or sold a home, you might be familiar with the purchase contract because this is what buyers will use to make an offer on a property. If you haven't purchased or sold before, then this is all new information anyways, so it's actually going to be a little less confusing because you aren't going to be aware of the changes that were made. The most noticeable update on the new contract is that all of the editable terms and conditions are on the first 3 pages of the contract. Now I did bring a copy up here to share with you, but I think instead we'll have it pop up on the right of the screen. So let me move out of the way and I'm going to reference my copy and then you can see it from here. So you'll notice in item number 3, it has A through R that are all terms and conditions to the contract. These are all of the editable terms and conditions of the contract. For example, your offer price would be written on here, the close of escrow date, the loan amount, the contingencies, and so on and so forth. As I mentioned previously, we are going to need to update some of our old Tip Tuesdays. For example, what is a contingency? Because we do talk about the time frames that are pre-written in the contract, which those have changed. Also, the amount of contingencies have changed. On page 2, item 3L, you notice there's 1 through 8. These are all contingencies that are in the contract. Previously, we only had 3 to 4 contingencies that were in the contract. Another change that I noticed was the time frame for contingencies based on the loan. In the old contract, there were 21 days for a loan contingency, and now there are 17 days. The third page of the contract is what items are included and excluded from the purchase or the sale of the home, as well as who pays for what, the allocation of costs. This includes the closing costs and other minimum required reports. Now the remaining pages, which are 4 through 16, are all of the explanations to the terms and the conditions. This is all important information and it is pertaining to those first 3 items that were filled in by the buyer. So that is just a quick look through of how the contract is now formulated. It is a very exciting change. We look forward to having it, but there's a learning curve and it's our job to read, understand, and interpret this contract. That way we can help you to understand and feel comfortable whenever you're signing it. The residential purchase contract is the most important contract that is signed by the buyer and seller because everything after that is based on the contract itself. So it's really important that you have a clear understanding of how the rest of the transaction is going to play out. So thank you so much for tuning in with us today, and we look forward to many more Tuesdays on different sections of the contract. I know that we've done multiple Tip Tuesdays based on the contract before. Some of those we will be editing and updating, and then also there is still a lot of terms and conditions that we have yet to go over in our Tip Tuesdays. So stay tuned for those. We look forward to seeing you again in the near future, and until then, have a happy Tip Tuesday. Bye!